the stealership are charging $2,000 an hour. Back in the OG garage today, and we're working on the wife's BRZ. We need front pads and rotors. The stealership quoted us $4,810 with a few extra bits of change to do this job. I've gone out and bought the pads and the rotors for $486, so that's a 90% saving. What I'm going to do now is change these. We'll start with the passenger side. We're going to put the timer on, see how long it takes to do this, and we'll work out how much labour the stealership is charging. All right, it's 10:39 a.m. Let's get cracking. I've got one wheel off. Let me tell you, this car is made almost entirely of plastic. There is nowhere to jack it up, nowhere to put stands, nowhere in the wheel arch to put a light because it's all plastic, so nothing magnetic works in there. Let's crack on. First thing you're going to want to do with these calipers is you want to get these little pins out of these slide, well that's what holds the pad in, so you want to get that one out and that one out, and then you want to tap the pin out, which will release the pads. That's the one. Found it easier if you push down on this shim, that pin will come out a lot easier. There's a hot tip for you. Get that out of the way. And our pads, if we just push them back a bit, should slide out just like that. Do the same with that one. Tell you, they're in there tight, I can tell you that. You need good torque on your fingers. Just lever that out a bit. It's coming. You don't have to get this out straight away. I just want to. There we go. Here's the pads, and I'm not disputing with the dealer that they don't need doing, because they do. We're almost at the wear indicator on the outer. In the inner's not much better. And taking a look at the rotor, there's quite a nice lip on the outside there. So no dispute they need doing. The dispute is, why are you charging so much? Caliper off next, then we'll get the rotor. Now there's two 19mm bolts on the back of the caliper, and they are very tight. We just need to undo those. One you can get to with a ratchet, the other one you need a ring spanner, because you need a big ass ratchet to undo them. You need a lot of leverage. Let's do that right now. I've unbolted the caliper. It Now just needs to come off, so it's nice and loose, but I want something to put it on there so we're not dangling off the hose. What have I got laying around in here that will be sufficient? I've got the car washing bucket, so what we'll do is we'll just put that aside, leave him like that. Now I believe these rotors don't just come off themselves. We need to put a bolt in here and here, and that will press the rotor off. I've just grabbed a couple of random bolts from the bolts bin which fit into those threads. Now it's just a matter of screwing them in. And there it goes. And just like that, it's off. You can see in here, that's the bracket behind the caliper. You don't need to take that out, you can just leave it there. I'm going to clean up this caliper. We'll break open a new rotor, get it on, whack the new pads in. But before that, we need to push the pistons back. So what I'll do for that is I'm going to put the old pads in and just press them out with my hands, and that should be enough to get the new pads in. Those pistons are now pushed back in, and I'm telling you, if you don't have enough torque in your fingers, you're going to need one of those pad spreaders, because these were hard. But I've got both sides pushed back in. We are currently at 11:21. We're almost 1 hour in, and I reckon half an hour of that I've been running back out the backyard to the other shed to get tools. Now here we have our rotor, Brembo of course. Now the part number you're going to want for these is a 79.7812.11. Don't get the .21, they're WRX. It'll be a different PCD and will not fit. This stud pad, 5x100. WRX is 5x114.3, same as Ford, in case you wanted to know. Again, we've gone with the Brembo. All the good stuff here. Let's hope these are right. Even come nice and wrapped in a little package. How's that, eh? Let's double check these. Oh, they're grey. Ooh. Nice. Double wear indicator. Let's just double check the other ones are the same before we put them in. Oh, it's a good thing I checked. See, one side had the wear indicators, the other side has nothing. So you need to separate the two. So you want the wear indicator on your outer and your other one on the inner. You don't want one on one both sides. Let's just grab the old pad. Make sure he's the same size and all. Now you want your material facing your rotor, and he should just slide in just like that. Don't go too far because that's not going to be good for anyone. You want it to stay. So we'll get a pin, just holds our anti-rattle clip in as well. needs to come up just a touch. Get that started. Get that started, and that isn't going to move anywhere. Now, goes in that way. Again, friction material to the rotor side. I'll put that pin in. And we're putting the bottom one in first because I can't see it. And then we'll do the top one. It's all about vision. Now this last pin is going to be tight, and tapping it with a hammer is going to be a good thing, because without it you're not getting it in. See, you just give it a tap, tap, tap-a-roo, and it will go in. Now this is probably going to block. That one's there. I've got that the wrong way, so I can't see. Push that down so we can turn it. Push that down so we can turn it. Okay. Now I can pop those pins back in. Don't drop them. There's one. Oh, goodness. Getting old sucks. And two. Right, our pads are home. Let's tighten up the back of the caliper. Give it a good clean. The other thing you want to take notice of is your brake master cylinder reservoir. I do have the cap off, and if you look, I've pushed the pistons in on that side and we're almost overflowing here. I would say during services they've been topping that up. I'm going to put this lid back on and I'm going to pump the pedal just to get those pistons out. Because if I don't do that when I come to the driver's side, that's going to overflow and leak shit everywhere, and we don't want that. Now just doing that, we've dropped that much fluid thus far. So we still need to be very careful of that, but the first pump I did, pedal went straight to the floor. So keep that in mind. And those few pedal pumps should now have seated this rotor nicely, and we get a nice firm spin. Let's get the wheel on and start the other side. We are now at 11:51, so it's taken about an hour 20 minutes. We're an hour and a half in. I reckon I can bang the other side out within an hour. Let's see how we go. and stop the clock at 12:33. I think all up this side's taken me about 30 to 40 minutes. It's a lot easier when you don't have to film anything. You can just get on with the job and do what you need to do. But having said that, I'm stopping the clock here because I've also got to get underneath this before I put it down and suss out where there's an oil leak, because I want to fix that up while it's up in the air. So yeah, all up, 2-hour job. After I get this back on the ground, I'm going to take it out for a test drive, make sure it's all good before wifey gets in and with the kids and takes them anywhere. I'll test it out on myself first. I don't see there being any issues, but it should be right. I have pumped up the brake pedal this side. I'm back from the test drive. It went really well. Lots of stop starting and some, heavy braking just to bed them in. They were pretty noisy at the start, but now they're nice and quiet. They actually feel really good. So job done. Well, there you go. That's it. It's done. Now, all up, that took about 2 hours to do the job. Now, if you're seriously telling me the stealership are charging $2,000 an hour, let's break it down that way. It was $4,810 for the quote. I bought for $480. Let's average it down to $4,000 after parts. But they're charging $2,000 an hour to do this job, which is absolutely ridiculous. Be better, Subaru. That is an absolute biggest rip-off you could ever imagine. I recommend tackling this yourself. It does make it difficult when you're trying to film and the camera gets in the way. When I did the second side without the camera, it smashed it out, no worries, easy peasy. Just trying to work around cameras and stuff, that doubled the time of what the second side took compared to the first side. So realistically, you're looking at probably just under 2 hours to do this job, which is even worse. It makes it even more than $2,000 an hour. It just doesn't add up in my head. Job's done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.